Hi guys, Mulos here. So I'm a YouTuber from the country called Zambia in Africa. So I don't know if I'm a Zambian first, African second, or African first, Zambian second, but I'm a monetized YouTuber from Zambia. And this video is to celebrate a couple of milestones. Number one, my channel has racked over 1 million views. Number two, I've made $4,000 in Google ad revenue or YouTube ad revenue since my channel got monetized in July 2020. So to celebrate this, I thought I would talk about YouTube and share my insights as an African YouTuber. So anyway, this is the YouTube AdSense letter I got. I'll talk about this a little bit later. So I'm going to leave timestamps in the description and I'll answer the number of questions that I've received. I did ask some of my subscribers and people who follow me on Twitter to ask me questions they wanted answered, and I'll leave timestamps to the questions so that you can just jump to whatever you want to learn about. And I'll also talk a little bit about my experiences on YouTube, how I got started, and like I said, I'll share some of the tips. All right, so the first question I get asked is a really odd one. I've been talking about being a Zambian YouTuber monetized in Zambia, and one of the questions I get asked the most is, can you get monetized in Zambia? I really don't know how to answer this because yes, you can. I'm Zambian in Zambia, using Zambian details, monetized in Zambia. The answer is yes. I do understand one of the reasons people get confused is when they do a Google search, they don't find supporting answers. So they get a bit confused. And then when someone like myself is saying, I'm Zambian in Zambia, monetized in Zambia, they don't believe, but take it from me, you can get monetized in Zambia. And there are quite a number of monetized YouTubers in Zambia. Second question, which I get asked quite a bit, is on the YouTube monetization basics. What do you need to get monetized? So you just need, I've tabled them down. They're just about 5 things. The first one, you need a Google account, whether it's a Gmail. As long as you've got a Gmail account, you're good to go. The second thing, you need a YouTube account. So as long as you've got a Gmail, it can be linked to your Google profile and you have a YouTube account, you can set up a channel. The third thing you need, which is the most important, you need a Google AdSense account. So Google AdSense is the one that's going to pay you for your YouTube monetization. Not YouTube, but it'll be Google AdSense. They're the ones who run the ads that you earn money on. The next thing you need is 1,000 subscribers. Then the last one, which does lead to some confusion sometimes, you need 4,000 hours of views in the last 12 months or the last year. So that means that if you're in September, you need 4,000 hours of views from October 2020 to September 2021. It's not calendar years, it's like from January to December. It's actually the last 12 months. So if you're in November, it's from the previous October, is it? Previous December to November, like that. There was someone who was panicking because she was going into a new year. I think it was 2021. And she was worried that she was going to lose all her views from the previous year once we went into 1st January of the year. And you don't have to worry about that. It's the past 12 months. Then I just need to mention something. It is really hard to get views and get subscribers. It's really hard. If you have got a YouTube channel and you're not getting the views, you're not getting the subscribers, it's not really your fault, okay? There are a lot of variables that are stacked against you. There are millions of YouTube channels out there. So sometimes it does take a bit of time to get traction, to get the views, to get the subscribers out. Your best bet is just to put content, the best content that you can put. It doesn't need to be Hollywood grade. You can't make Hollywood grade content on a Lusaka budget. You know, you can't. You can put out the best content that you can. And that is the most important thing. Put out the best content you can put out at your budget. And the views and the subscribers will grow slowly. In majority of cases, they'll grow slowly. In some breakout cases, they will have some content that will just go viral, and before you know it, they've got the views and all. Viral videos are not that common. The majority of videos on YouTube are non-viral videos. All right, so the next question is, how does YouTube pay you? So this one is, it's not really YouTube that pays you. It's Google AdSense that pays you for ads that are run on your monetized channel. Then they'll only pay you if you've gotten a threshold of 70 euros. I've been very, very fortunate that from the first month up to the current month, I've always met the threshold. So I get my YouTube pay every month, and they pay out on the 21st of every month for the previous month, for the prior month. So on the 21st of September, I got my pay for the previous month, which was August, and then October 21st, I'll get my pay for the month of September. Then one question which also gets asked a lot is, how much can you get paid for XYZ or one blah, blah, blah number of views? So the simple truth is that YouTube or Google AdSense don't pay you for the number of views. They pay you for the ads that run on your channel and that are viewed by people who watch your videos. So if there are those ads which are non-skippable, you'll be paid for those ads which play. If there are ads that pop up on your video, on the top screen or anywhere on the screen, you get paid for those. If there are skippable ads, you'll get paid for people who don't skip them. If there are clickable ads, you'll get paid for people who actually click on those links. So there's no way of knowing how many views you'll get, because I mean, a lot of people don't actually watch the ads. They skip them, or they use ad blockers, or they avoid ads. You only get paid for ads which are actually viewed or links which are actually clicked on. So you could have 5 million views and not get paid anything if no ads are running or no one is watching the ads. Then one other question which does get asked is, how do you get or gain international views? A lot of times when people are complaining about their YouTube monetization not being enough, or there's a time YouTube said they'll stop monetizing Zambian views. So as long as you've got Zambian viewers and they watch your videos, no ads run on that, so you won't get any income from that. So one of the most common tips people were giving is you need to work towards getting international views so that you get the ad revenue that comes with it and the higher ad revenue as well. The simple, honest truth is that we can only assume what international audiences want to see, listen, or get. An example, if you watch some of the music channels, you would assume that is all Nigerians listen to, or that is all South Africans listen to. But if you actually go to Nigeria or go to South Africa, you find that there's a whole host of other genres of music which we don't get to see, because we only get to see what the music channels believe you want to see. So you're not actually seeing what South Africans or Nigerians or the Americans get to see, listen, or buy. You're seeing what the studios assume you want to see. A long time ago when I was in school and magazines were still a thing, there was the Source magazine, and I'd always get surprised. Each time I'd get a Source magazine, I was seeing ads for Master P's No Limit label, and I didn't know most of the artists there. You know, I was wondering, like, how the hell is this guy so rich, and how does he have so many artists who nobody knows or buys their music? I was looking at it from a Zambian perspective, not an American perspective. The people who were buying his music, listening to it, were there in America. Here in Zambia, we were getting other artists and all. So the simple truth is that from the outside looking in and from the inside looking out, we'll both have different views. There's absolutely no way of knowing what international audiences want. So if you are going to be preparing content for that, just bear in mind that that content will most likely be wrong and you will not get those views. Work on getting local views and the international views will come. So now another question I get asked, how to increase your views? This one, there is absolutely no way of increasing your views, or there's no way of knowing how to increase your views. People will either watch your videos or not. When people are watching your videos, they are not watching it because you are following a certain template or standard or all. They are watching it because of the way you tackle whatever topic you're tackling, or the way you present yourself, or the way you articulate issues. They are watching it because of you. So if you are not able to get views the way you are, it's really, really difficult, because you could try to copy somebody else and people will be like, this is a copycat, I won't watch this. You could try to change your accent, because maybe one American person says your accent sounds, someone said my accent sounds like Nigerian. It does not. I'm Zambian. I've never sounded Nigerian in my life. But one US person claimed that my accent sounded Nigerian, and he said I was a scammer. He could tell I'm a scammer because of my Nigerian accent. I do not have a Nigerian accent. So one option I could have had is I could say, oh, people think I'm a scammer with my Nigerian accent. And then I could try to, do a British accent in it. I could try to talk like a British person, but that would be really, really fake. And people would be irritated by that accent and they would stop watching. So how to increase your views? The best way is put out quality content. Share your content in as many platforms as you can. If you are happy to, do it on all your social medias, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all those platforms that you can use. So good content attracts views, but it only attracts views if the potential viewers know that it's there. So you really have to actually push your content out there. All right, another question is, how do I receive my YouTube pay? I do know some other YouTubers. One guy received his via Western Union, and he went through a bit of hell but YouTube paid him under one name, but his ID showed his middle name, which I think was missing on the YouTube thing. So when I was going to Western Union, he was having difficulties getting that money because they were insisting that Google AdSense amends his name to add the middle name. It was a whole lot of work. I've never gone through that. I get my Google AdSense pays me on the 21st of every month, and either on the 21st or the 22nd, I receive the money in my EcoBank dollar account. If I had a Kwacha account, I would still receive it the same, but I opened a dollar account because I prefer to change the money myself and not use bank rates. So anyways, so how I receive my pay, it's via EcoBank. Okay, so now one other question is, how do you get local sponsors or advertisers to jump on board? The simple, honest answer, if you are in Africa, it's really, really difficult. I don't know what criteria they use to determine their sponsorship and advertising, but it's quite difficult to get them to jump on board. They do jump on board a lot of times, but just to get that relationship started, it's really, really difficult. I have worked with two sponsors so far, both of them in the fintech space. So on local sponsorship and advertisers, that one I do not have any secret formula on how to get it. I did try sending emails, phone calls, and the likes. A lot of banks and other institutions. I was given the runaround. Eventually, I realized that rather than stressing myself, I'll just continue making videos and see how it goes. And so far, so good. All right, so one question I also get asked is, which countries watch my videos? And the simple answer is my two biggest countries in terms of views. Number one is the US. So anyway, so the US is my main viewership. And my second viewership, or largest viewership, is Zambia. Then the rest, there's a whole mix of countries: Nigeria, Bangladesh, Pakistan, South Africa, Philippines, Kenya, Lesotho, Qatar, Bahrain, Ethiopia, Ukraine, Sri Lanka, Ghana. There's a whole host of countries that do watch my videos. My viewership is a mixed bag, US and Zambia being my main two. Okay, so another question that is quite commonly asked to me is, what kind of content should I post? So this one, I'll say, make content that you enjoy making. It shouldn't be a chore or a pain. It should be something that you actually enjoy doing, because the simple, honest truth, for the first couple of days, weeks, months, or even years, your YouTube channel will be a hobby. You might not make money off of it. It's going to be a hobby. So if it's a hobby that is torturous to you, it doesn't really make any sense, because at the end of the day, the joy or the output, if you've got negative input into your content creation, it will be seen in the output. So if it's a torture or if it's a pain, make the type of content that you actually enjoy making over and over and over again. Don't try to guess what you think viewers want. A lot of viewers will actually want to watch things that you create from your perspective, your angle, or your take. If they don't, it's not really your fault. It's just that maybe you are going for a niche or a segment that doesn't have that many people. It's not, so make content you enjoy making. Next question, which is also another very popular question, is what kind of gear should I use or should I get? So the simple, honest truth is use whatever gear that you have. I know it sounds like a cliche or, these motivational speeches and all, but it's the simple, honest truth. I'll give you two examples. One example rather. My most watched video that has earned me, that got me subscribed, that got me subscribers, got me monetized, and has resulted in me getting almost $4,000 in YouTube ad revenue, was shot on a $30 phone. That's the MTN Dandy phone. I got that phone from MTN. At the time, I was quite broke. I got it from MTN. I think my son or daughter broke my phone, so I needed to buy a phone, and I got a $30-40 phone. I even did a review on it, the MTN Dandy. It was a really, really basic phone. And I shot a video on that, 2.5-minute video. And that's the video that got me all the views, all the monetization, and all the pay. Use whatever you have to the best of your ability. Don't just do things for the sake of doing it. Do it to the best of your ability. If you've got a cheap phone, try to work on your lighting and your images. If you've got no microphone, most phones do come with inbuilt microphones that you can record voiceovers on. If you've got a simple laptop, for the longest time, I was using a laptop with 2 gigabytes RAM to be editing my videos. It was a pain, but it's what I used and it's what got me where I am today. So use whatever you have to the best of your ability. And then if you actually enjoy the hobby of YouTubing or vlogging, you can then be spending on your hobby. Hobbies make you live long. If you don't have any hobbies, you might die young. But if you've got hobbies which you enjoy, it's actually something you look forward to doing again and again. And when you spend on your hobby, you don't really feel it as much as you're spending on a torturous task. All right, so a lot of entrepreneurs do ask, are there other ways of monetizing your YouTube channel? And the answer is yes. YouTube monetization or Google AdSense monetization is not the only way. You can also get sponsored content. If you're doing a niche segment, a lot of times businesses in that segment would want to contact you to put in sponsored content. Maybe they would sponsor the whole video, or they would give you some of a 30-second or 20-second ad to incorporate into your video, or they'll give you props. Like imagine, okay, my Texas BA 2+ calculator, it's not a prop, it's not sponsored, but if I was making videos on financial mathematics and all, and they wanted to sponsor my videos, this would be a good opportunity. I would leave it hanging, somewhere so visible on the table, or have a poster in the back, such kind of sponsored content. Then there's also sponsored ads, and another way, which is direct marketing. If you have a product, service, or a skill that you want to sell, YouTube is a great way for people who want that service or who want to purchase or procure whatever you're selling to find you. A lot of time, like let's imagine you're a BMW mechanic and you're showing how to service a BMW. I assure you that majority of BMW owners would not want to service it. They just want to see that, can it be done? How is it done? And who can do it? So they might reach out to you and hire you to do the work. So a lot of times from my videos on how to get your monies unlocked and all, I've been contacted from people around the world who have paid me to do a lot of the work for them. And from the income I've earned from business inquiries on my channel, I've actually made more than what I've earned from my direct YouTube monetization. I did not plan it that way. It's just something that actually happened. And what I did learn is that in your videos, always leave your contact details visible. Because what happens if you don't put your contact details and you don't go through the comment section, there are scammers out there. Some guy actually stole my face and was responding to comments on my channel, directing them to email him or contact him via WhatsApp and Telegram. So I learned that it's best you actually put your contact details there, because you never know who wants to contact you off of any video that you do. My last segment here is my views on YouTube as an African, and also how I got started with YouTube. I'll start with how I got started with YouTube. So I got started with YouTube a little bit accidentally. Initially, I just planned to start a YouTube channel. I was working towards buying some camera gear and equipment, microphones, a laptop with decent specs. You know, I was planning it out in my head, really, really grand. And I was hoping to be driving around my beautiful country to show everything about it. But it didn't work out like that. While I was trying to make money, I was doing a lot of YouTube research, and I was not seeing content from Africans with an African perspective, or people in the third world with a third world perspective. So I went on a rant and complained that people are missing out on income and all this stuff by not having YouTube content. And a lady did reply with reasons why they were not doing that. So we did a back and forth. And I did what most people, my position, would have done. I did a lot of mansplaining to say that yes, you can start with whatever equipment you have. It's a simple thing of just putting the content out there, and you'd get the views and get the monetization as easy as 1, 2, 3. So to prove a point, I started my channel a little bit earlier using whatever equipment I had. And I learned some very, very simple basics. Both of us were right and both of us were wrong. You can put up content with whatever you have, but depending on what type of content it is, it might or might not be good stuff. The first videos I put out, personally, I believe they were terrible. Terrible editing, terrible sound, terrible everything. But they so happened to be the only videos out at the time covering certain topics. So they were getting a lot of views. They were actually getting a lot of likes. I was surprised by all of that. And the feedback I was getting from the honest people, a lot of them were like, the production values suck, but thank you for the information. It's really helped me out. It saved me a lot of money. You know, I was getting so much positive feedback from terrible videos. And it made me realize that in as much as you can put out content with whatever you have, make sure that it's the best that you can actually put out. Take a little bit of extra time to edit it out. If your phone doesn't have a good microphone, just go to the quietest room in the house that you can. My earlier videos had my kids making noise in the background. It had the roosters and the village chickens, you know, making so much noise in the background as well. But I have tried to improve over time. And so in as much as I was right, she was right, I was wrong, she was wrong, that's how I started my YouTube channel, basically. And my views on YouTube as an African is that YouTube is a platform that is really, really misunderstood by us here. A lot of times, people who are not on YouTube are the ones who are giving what sounds like really, really good advice. Most of the times that advice is terrible. It will just land you into problems. The first advice is that you need to buy certain type of gear and equipment. As Africans, money is tight. You don't really have the money to go and buy Black Magic TV, red camera, Black Magic camera, red camera, and all that stuff. But you do have money to buy yourself a smartphone, a tablet, sometimes a laptop. So always use whatever you have to the best of your ability. Do not take advice from people who are usually in the US, Europe, or these other countries. They do not face the restrictions that you face. Do not try to get the views from countries that you have not traveled to, that you don't understand, because everything you're basing your assumptions on are just stereotypes. Americans do not behave the way they do in the movies, because that's make-believe. South Africans don't behave the way you see them in the music videos. That's just a small segment of their society. Nigerians don't all live large and behave the way they do in the music videos. If you've got a heavy accent, it's okay. There's probably some Zambians in the diaspora who are looking for original content, and they'll be happy to see a Zambian with their accent. If you're a Zambian with an accent, it's okay, because we are a diverse country. Some people went to really, really good schools, and a lot of people actually had British teachers when they were in school. So they've got British accents, and having lived in Zambia their whole lives, people will be like, how did you get this accent? You've never been to the UK. It's because they had British teachers. I mean, I know a lot of people who went to schools where they actually had British teachers, and their accents are really, really, you'll be like, but when you've been with them for a while, you actually realize that that's how they actually speak. So always be yourself in these channels, in these contents. Always put up original content that you've thought of. There's no need of trying to get views by being scandalous or shooting down people or talking bad about people. And if it's okay to be honest and truthful. If you've seen something that you don't like in your country and you want to make a video about that, it's okay, guys. The simple truth is that if you are going to talk about pollution on a landfill and it paints the city in a bad light, the simple honest truth is that there's a landfill with pollution that is giving people in the city a bad airs or what. So always be true to yourself. Put out content that, should you get any criticism, you'd be able to defend in an honest, truthful manner. Try to avoid plagiarism and copying other people's content. If you do use other people's content, give props or credit to the content creators. Making content is really, really difficult, time-consuming, and laborious tasks. So try to be true to yourself. Make content you're happy with. If you're not happy, it takes a bit of time to get used to hearing your own voice. The first times I was hearing my own voice, I was like, damn, I need to get a voice transplant. But eventually I said, whatever, let me be myself. And I've gotten used to listening to my own voice on YouTube. So I think that's about it. Almost forgot one last point. The Google AdSense letter. So Google mails you this letter, which it contains a PIN. So you can't get YouTube monetized without this Google AdSense letter. And people were surprised that I got monetized July month end, and I received this letter in my box August month end. I picked it up, I think, after my birthday, September 2020. And people are surprised I got it so fast. The simple, honest truth is that you need a postal box to get mail. The simple, honest truth, you need a postal box to get mail if you are in Africa, Zambia, or outside the Western countries. The post offices don't deliver to home addresses. So that's a mistake a lot of people have made. If you're living in Ibex, people will put like plot number 2, Ibex extension, and then they wait 6 months, they've never received this. Usually the letter will be sitting in the nearest post office to you. So in Ibex, you've got 3 post offices you could need to research: Charleston Post Office, Ridgeway Post Office, or Woodlands Post Office. So my advice is get yourself a PO box, a postal box. It costs only 400 kwacha a year to rent. That's if you're an individual. For a company, it's a little bit higher. And you'll be able to get your letter in record time. So I used my own PO box. I got my letter within a month. I was set up fast. A friend of mine who had been failing to get her letter used my PO box. She got her letter fast after that. So in as much as you think a post office is dead, get yourself a PO box. It's rather cheap. If you don't have the money, speak to any of the elders in the family. The elders love post boxes. Well, let me start with the competition first. My initial plan on my YouTube channel was to be vlogging about my beautiful country, Zambia, which I believe to be among the top 3, possibly top 5 most beautiful countries in Africa. I believe, in my personal humble opinion, the most beautiful country in Africa should be the Democratic Republic of Congo. And Zambia should be among the top 3 or top 5. So list your top 5 most beautiful African countries in the comment section. And I'll pick out 4 which I agree with, and I'll share $25 with the people whose pick I believe to be closest to mine. So anyway guys, so I think that's about it. I hope the video has been helpful. Don't forget to let me know your 5 most beautiful African countries. So I hope you take part in the competition. I give out some of my YouTube money to 4 people. And I hope the video has been helpful. Let me know in the comments section if I missed anything. Let me know if my accent does or doesn't sound like a Nigerian scammer. And I look forward to seeing you when I get to 2 million views and $10,000 in YouTube ad revenue. But otherwise, thanks for watching, guys. Bye.